Hi everyone, welcome to the Wise Studio YouTube channel. Today's video is video number 2 in the cells unit, and we're going to be talking about animal and plant cells. So in the first video, we were talking about prokaryotes versus eukaryotes, and I mentioned that an example of eukaryotes would be plant and animal cells. All right, so now we're going to be talking about the differences between these two types of cells. All right. So for plant cells have a cell wall and a chloroplast. Those are two organelles that animal cells do not have. The cell wall is made out of cellulose and really gives the plant cell structure and kind of a rigid appearance. And the chloroplasts are fundamentally similar to mitochondria, but they themselves are in charge of photosynthesis or play a huge role in photosynthesis. So they are not found in animal cells either. And that's actually the second difference, is that plant cells could undergo photosynthesis and cell respiration, while animal cells can only undergo cell respiration. For plant cells, they have a much larger vacuole than animal cells, and that's mainly to store those nutrients, mainly water, um, in these plant cells, and that's useful for them because when on a dry day, for example, they have the water stored in the vacuole already, so they don't need to kind of so they won't basically die, and so that's an important thing. The plant cells also tend to have a square shape or more of a rigid shape thanks to the cell wall, as opposed to the animal cells' circular or more abstract shape because it only has a cell membrane and not a cell wall. The other thing that is a difference is in mitosis, plant cells form a cell plate, and that also has to do with the cell wall and just the structure of a plant cell, while animal cells form something called the cleavage furrow. Right, that's just the difference that we'll talk about. Kind of a subtle difference, but we'll talk about it in one of our future units. So I wanted to present it a bit early. And then this is actually something that's very important and is in our current unit, but I'm going to make a future video about it. Plant cells exert what's called turgor pressure to resist osmotic pressure. And what that means is, one, a plant cell gets flooded with water. And when water keeps coming into the plant cell, instead of bursting like an animal cell would, the plant cell actually exerts this turgor pressure that's caused by the cell wall. And because the plant cell has this boundary of the cell wall, it itself doesn't lyse or break up or like explode all over the place because of the additional water. Because the addition of water. Animal cells are the exact opposite. Because they only have a cell membrane, they don't lyse. They lyse easily, and they don't experience this turgor pressure. Here we have the visual difference between the two cell types. We've got a lot of the same organelles. That is actually a big similarity. We've got a lot of the same organelles, but we've got, in general, we've got more vacuoles in this one and larger vacuoles than when you're talking about the animal cells. And then obviously the big structural difference is the cell wall, which makes it look a lot more rigid, as opposed to the cell membrane, which is more circular or abstract. Again, they've got smaller chloroplasts as well. And here they've got mitochondria, but no chloroplasts. So that's really the main differences between plant and animal cells, and I hope you enjoyed the video.